What is going on, everybody? It's the Reformation Keegan, and I'm back with another mental health analysis. So, one of the things I want to talk about today is mental health and writing. And one of the things that, as an English student, that I have come across is the agency that comes with writing. A lot of people, based on their level of education, like to tell other people, one, if they can write or not, and two, what they can. And one of the things that I think has been a detriment to writing and mental health is the agency that people put on others. And what I mean by that is they put their own agency on individuals who want to write their story. So what happens is a lot of people's stories, they end up getting muddled and they end up becoming somebody else's story. And when you do that, one, if you're the person in control, you are just recreating the story that you see in your image, which a lot of ways is revisionism. And two, you are taking away the agency of that writer who wants to convey their experiences. This happens throughout all different forms of writing. It happens in autobiographies, it happens in fiction, it even happens in creative nonfiction. It occurs all over. So, one of the things that I've learned throughout suffering from mental health and as a writer is you can implement your stories in many, many different ways. If we're going to just talk through the medium of writing, you can do this through creative nonfiction. You could do this through fiction. You could do this through an autobiography or a memoir. So there's different ways to do it. But one of the things that I think gets lost in execution is the communication with our stories. Because I think a lot of times when we're writing, we're afraid to take risks, and we're afraid to see what the results are going to be and what other people are going to think. I think too many times we're worried about what a publisher's opinion is going to be, and that's viable to an extent. But at the same time, you have to write how you feel. If you write how you feel, your writing is going to come across as very authentic. So if you are writing from the perspective of bipolar disorder, you have to explain it from your own experiences. You don't just need to give the medical diagnosis or the symptoms. Tell your audience what you go through, because mental health is different for everyone. People suffer from bipolar disorder differently. They suffer from schizophrenia differently. They suffer from borderline personality disorder differently. The symptoms vary for everyone. And I think what's happened, even in writing, is when we're discussing our experiences, we get too clinical. We stay too close to the clinical diagnosis, and we don't share our authentic experiences because we want people to believe what we suffer from. And if our symptoms are exclusive to us, we fear that other people are going to relate to us. However, there are people that are going to relate to you. Trust me from experience. So that's why I wanted to do this little mental health analysis with writing, because writing is a very, very effective tool. As Alan Morris said, you can change the world with your writing. You can change perceptions with your writing, and you can even change your own perceptions with your own writing. And what I mean by that is you write what you think, and then you reflect on it, and you read it again, and you make additions, you make subtractions, and you can even change your own opinions on things through reading other people's writing and your writing of your own. And I think that writing with mental health is such a powerful tool. A lot of people do it to communicate their feelings, but they do it to try to reach out to others, which is a beautiful piece of media, in my opinion. We do it through poetry as well. Poetry is a really big one. I'm a big fan, mental health wise, of blank verse poetry, where you just write and you work down and don't worry about a rhyme scheme, because that could be a little too tedious when you're just trying to convey your emotions. But I think blank verse poetry is definitely a therapeutic tool for writing. And even with blank verse, I think a lot of people they fear publishing that or sending it out because it's not real poetry. It is real poetry. There's conventions of poetry that stay true, but meter and scansion, they're not always there. And I think that's the big problem, is we narrow our scope, both in mental health and with writing, because we follow these conventions that are not a set dogma. They're not a set rule. They're there, but they don't have to be there. And that's the thing with mental health, is there's no conventions for it. You know, everybody suffers in so many different ways, and they communicate it in so many different ways. And writing is the main tool of communication. So that's my little analysis on mental health, writing. Let me know what you think. I'll do another video next week. Don't forget either, please, to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. I'm hoping I could reach that goal. Then I can become a YouTube partner and put out more and better content for you going forward. Currently in Canada right now, it's freezing out here. It's like the Klondike. My hands are getting cold. So I'm gonna sign off, but thank you for watching.